everybody, welcome to the Makeup Chair. Today we're doing a Cher Lloyd inspired look. This is a very typical look of hers with the heavy eyeliner, and just keep watching. Okay, so I've already done one side and I'll show you how to do it on the other. So I'm going to start off by filling in my brows. I've already had them tinted black, so they're not that light, but I'm going to take milk chocolate, a angled brush, and this is just going to fill them in very gently, give them a little bit more definition. So I'm just working across the brow, pushing in the shadow. If you have very light brows, I would say to start off with a pencil and then use the shadow. Keeping with this same colour, I'm going to take it onto a fluffy brush, and this is the Sigma E25. This back and forth into my crease. Just going to add subtle definition to the eye. Nice windscreen wiper motion back and forth. And then you can just do it a little bit just in the outer corner of the eye. Next I'm going to take this, which is the Maybelline 24-hour Lash Drama. It comes in a little pot like this, and it also has its own brush. Take a small amount on the brush and just wipe it to kind of brush it into the brush, and that way you will coat the brush completely and it'll get a better line. We're going to place our hand alongside the edge of our cheek just for a little bit of support, and you're going to start just by working across. Stick right down to the lashes to begin with and start with your line. I'm working right from the inner part of the eye and along. Make sure you get right down by the lashes. There's nothing worse than a gap there between your lashes and the liner. I'm just gradually thickening the line. Then I'm just going to do a little bit of a kick. So we were working across this way, but now we're turning it around. That's just my basic shape. And I'm just going to join it in. And you can bring this liner out as far as you want, but as you can see when I do this, it disappears. But when I do that, it's really obvious, so it kind of depends on how you feel. Next I'm going to take a black pencil liner. You can use the gel one in the inner portion of your eye, but you won't get the same benefit as if you use a pencil. So I'm going to let the pencil run across my waterline. And then I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to run it across again, and this way you get the upper and the lower waterline at the same time, which really darkens and deepens this look. You're also going to bring it just where the lashes are, so just bring it down a little bit lower. Then you're going to take the brush we originally did the kind of liquid with, and just because it's pretty much clean, we're just going to smudge that and smoke it out a little bit, just getting right underneath the lashes. My general rule is that you should have it slightly lower on the outer portion of the eye and then bring it kind of swooping inwards. So it should be a little bit higher as you get closer to the inner portion of the eye, and that way you get kind of a more of a balanced look. I'm going to put some mascara just on the bottom and then right at the top. On average, she usually wears about 3 sets of lashes. So I've only put 1 on, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But if you do want to get the kind of full look, I would say to put about 2 on. And basically you just apply 1 and then you leave it dry and set, and then you apply another 1 just on top of that. I'm just going to apply a nice thin banded one. And just place them right down in the center. And I didn't leave it tacky enough, so it's kind of wet, but just put that down. Attach the edges. And then I just give it a little squeeze. Then I just use the back of the tweezers to just kind of push them down, making sure they're lying on top of my natural lashes. Go back over the band just to make sure it really blends in. To get that really kind of structured face that she has, you want to use some kind of a matte bronzer and then a highlighter. So I'm going to use this, which is a Sleek palette, and this is in light. I'm going to take a little bit onto the edge of a flattish brush like this. See how it's kind of flat, but it has a fluffy top. And you're just going to work this downwards from the ear. This is just going to create more of a shape to the face, so it kind of makes it like, and you just want to take a little tiny bit more and just blend it very subtly. Now I'm going to take the highlighter side and I'm just going to run this across the top of that. So this is here, just running across the top of it, which will give a lot more kind of shape and structure to the face because you're creating a light and dark effect. So on my lips I've taken the e.l.f. Primer and Plumper, and one side has kind of like a almost concealer primer, and you just place that on there and it blurs out your lip. Then over the top of that, because it's quite nude shade that she has on and it's kind of doesn't have any shimmer or anything, it's fairly matte, I've used this color, and this is number 3 and it's the new collection by Rimmel that Kate Moss made. So that's what I have over the top. And that's it. That is our Cher Lloyd inspired look. I really hope you enjoy this look. I'm Sinead Katie and thank you for watching.